So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to another episode of our Global Expert Series. Today, with us, we have a very special guest with us, a guest who is not only a doctor but somebody who works in geriatric medicine, somebody who has huge experience not only in terms of the medicine part of it, but also training the trainers. A master trainer with us. Let's welcome today Dr. Anand Ambali.
Thank you so much.
And waited next to you, Pankaj. Please, let's go ahead.
Okay. Dr. Ambali, firstly, thank you for coming on board and my genuine namaskar to
My
you.
pleasure, sir.
It's always a pleasure to
Yes, sir.
hear from you and see your smiling face. I think that is something which is very important in this field, geriatric care. And I don't have too many. In fact, I'm short of words to talk about your profile. And it's very nice to see that you have been involved in this sector for quite some time. You are the master trainer for the national program of healthcare for elderly, which is a flagship scheme of the central government. Plus, you have been doing your role in Bijapur area as well as at the national level. So, really welcome to you for this session, and we look forward to learning a lot of things from you today, sir.
Yes, sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for having me here.
So, Dr. Ambali, we will start shooting our questions. We were very excited and curious about you coming with us so that we could ask all these questions. So, usually, the first question that I ask is to all my guests is about the national or independent impact that you feel, you know, organizations or various, NGOs who are working in the field of geriatric care, especially in India. What do you think? What impact they are trying to make, or are they able to make some kind of an impact? That is my first question to you.
Yes, that's a very important and relevant questions as of now, because when we compare India, we are still a developing country, and our population is growing. So we have two challenges simultaneously. Whereas the rest of the world, if you consider Europe and USA, they first became rich, they become developed countries, and then the population started growing. So that was the basic difference. So in Indian context, the government of India and many NGOs are taking a lead in meeting the needs what the older people want, especially in the tier 1 cities, where the older people now for the last 10 years they are meant to stay alone because of this globalization, and where the children are leaving them and staying elsewhere. They're leaving them in the home, going for other countries. And that was 10-15 years back. But now what we are seeing in other tier 2 cities and tier 3 cities, even in my place, the children from the villages are moving to district places, and from district to the other states for the sake of job or the better prospects in their life, leaving their parents alone in the home. And these are the people who need a lot of care. And as you mentioned, the impact, yes, impact, this is what the older people needs. So we have to target the care for these older people who are staying alone, and either with the couple, only the both husband and wife being 60 plus, and their children are elsewhere. And or their children, they have lost their children in some accidents or something. So these are the people who are there who need care. And geriatric care is a multidimensional care, and many government institutes and NGOs are there in creating the manpower to help these people improve at least the quality of life, if not the holistic care, at least to improve their activity of daily living or function capacity. These people are being created, or the generated being for the caregivers among especially the general public, and even the nurses, what we do, so that they're empowered in geriatric care.
Correct. So I'll just step in for this. So typically, when like as a master trainer for NPCHE, uh, how does it function in terms of from the central level to the state level? These kind of training programs.
Exactly. I had a very similar question that how does it function? So who are the people, who join these courses? Because it sounds very interesting.
Yes, this national program for healthcare elderly, that NPSCE, it is a division in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and they have a separate budget, a huge budget for under them to start geriatric wards, geriatric clinics, and creating a manpower, trained manpower across India. So the ministry identifies, especially the government medical colleges and the hospitals, for training the medical officers, where I have been the part of that in most of the cities, where one district is selected and there the medical officers are trained. So in my district, what is followed is all the new medical officers that joined in the primary health center or a secondary health center. Then in last 3 months, they are called and they are trained in various specialties like diabetes care, hypertension care, malignancy, palliative care, geriatric care, and now they are also adding the dementia care. So NPHC from Delhi till my place, district place, they have branches, and they are promoting starting the geriatric wards in the district hospitals run by government, and they're also creating manpower in creating a training of trainers, what we call. So that again, once I am a trainer, then we go down and start training many people, or doctors especially, and the nurses in geriatric care and dementia care. So this is how the NPSC acts from top level to the state level and then the district level.
No, I think that's very interesting by you were explaining how it works. And the government has started doing so many new steps, I feel. Especially that we've spoken earlier also on one of these interviews that palliative care is one thing where we are really lacking as a country. And considering our genetic population, that we are one of the most populous nation in the world now. So I think, what do you think, Dr. Ambali, about the fact that the key challenges, especially in the case of palliative care, we see, or in the case of geriatric care, or in general in case of even in dementia care, for example, what do you think are the key challenges we are facing as a country, and especially in the Indian context? What do you think about it?
Yes, the challenges are still a lack of manpower. That required manpower is not met. And second challenge is that the many older people, they don't know to whom to find for caregiver to assistant for them. Third, the caregivers are not trained properly or thoroughly, and there is what we call in the government scenario or the training centers, they are not regulated. The regulatory authority is not there in place in Indian context, whereas we, except for the certificate course given by National Institute of Social Defense, that again comes under Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, where they train caregivers with 2 months of lectures and 1 month of practical skill-based learning, and then they certify for the 3 months course, and that is how both the theoretical knowledge and the skills are assessed. So, but that is a small number. Those generated by NIST is a number, but it's a small number that cannot meet the challenge requirement of the older persons. So, there is a shortage of trained caregivers. There is a shortage of regulatory authority for this type of care providers, and most of the people may not afford to have these caregivers in their family because it is very costly. That is where the Indian women, whom I have seen many of them, they have sacrificed their job just to ensure that their in-laws or parents are provided the care. So that is how the Indian women still are doing the better services for their families. So these are the challenges that I think we are facing in our context.
No, I think very well put, Dr. Ambali. I think this is something which has been consistent with all the people we have been speaking to. And when it comes to manpower, and especially the trained manpower, this is, I think, that is going to be the fuel for the vehicle. We can build up the infrastructure, we can build up the systems and policies, but if you don't have the trained manpower, who's going to drive the entire thing? So my question to you on this particular aspect would be, right now, what is the level of educational level and the background, and which all locations generally people are coming in for the caregiving part? I'm not talking for the nursing part, but at the bottom of the pyramid, when a caregiver or someone wants to become a caregiver, or when the government promotes it, uh, typical education level, what is it? How easy it is to train them? And typically, from what belts do they come from?
Yes, that's a very important question. Now, there are two aspects of this caregiving concepts. So, the National Institute of Social Defense, the training program, the Indira Gandhi National Open University conducts a training program for caregivers, is the non-medical persons, and the geriatric care, and many NGOs they are conducting training the caregivers. But the education qualification, minimum education qualification is 12th standard pass.
Okay.
So beyond that, they can be anything. So 12th standard pass is a basic education qualification in all these setups where they are training the people. And the people, they tell that those who are could not pursue the further course after PUC 2, or they are looking for a job. And also the students who are pursuing the studies in a part-time, they can take this course, and within 3 months they can complete. So there are variety of people joining this course. One who are looking for the job, one who are just 12th pass and they don't have any other work to do, and simultaneous, like the dual procedures takes place. One is learning, and this is again learning new skills or new certification during the regular course. So people from middle class and the lower class are the general people, they come here. And one good thing about these national programs is they are conducting these training program in the local languages. Maybe to Odisha or in Delhi. So if it is in Delhi, it goes in Hindi. If it's in Karnataka, we conduct in Kannada language. In some other state, in Maharashtra, will go in Marathi. So that's the one advantage of these training programs conducted for the people who attend geriatric care trainings.
So just as an extension of this, one is getting into the course and doing the training. How many of these people actually last in the industry?
Yes, that's a very important question. If I am, I'll tell you my experience. I am an examiner for various such courses. I take online exams for the students who have appeared for such training courses. After 3 months, I take for exams. Or what we see them is they are doing multiple tasks. Okay, one is he is pursuing a Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science or something like that. Simultaneously, is doing geriatric care training, and after that he will be parallelly doing one more online course by IGNO or some Delhi University or something. So your question is very apt for this. Even the same thing I had raised in many meetings, that one person has has multiple certifications. Training in geriatric care, he is also a Bachelor of Arts, he is a Bachelor of Science, and he is doing some other course, skill-based or hotel management or something like that. So, as you rightly mentioned, that we cannot pinpoint that there are so many people now ready to provide services to the older people right now in India, because they are multidimensional, multifaceted, and they are working in multidisciplinary forces. So again, the same problem with me. What happens with, we train the nurses in dementia care, and we cannot tell them that she is very good in only dementia care. Of course, she is nursing. We have empowered her with an additional knowledge of dementia care. So that doesn't make her a purely an dementia care assistant or care provider. So, but my feeling was the people living with dementia admitted in our hospital, these nurses should not feel that they should not feel short of their knowledge. They should be empowered that how can I handle these persons with dementia in their wards. So with
Very
that
true.
intention, we started empowering them with the geriatric care knowledge, palliative care knowledge, and dementia care knowledge. But to answering to your question is how much a single person with geriatric care, I am doing only this job for last 20 years. You may not find anybody because it's not
Yeah,
that lucrative, and
Mhm.
Correct.
most of them they find burnout. After some time, they feel that array, this is having uh, costing my life and the health of my life, and they also look for other jobs simultaneously, which provides more safety and security. So people sticking to this job at in a young age, I'm telling you, 18 to 50, they don't stick for this job for the long time. Whereas senior citizens, 60 plus, who have retired from their jobs, they do this work like going and assisting the person for bathing, helping them to feed, okay, and do some dressings, make them walk, activities of daily living, helping in activity of daily living. Some things of this sort they keep doing after their retirement, and they are consistent in that because that becomes a source of income for them, so they don't leave this job. I have seen many people who are working after 60. They are in this field for almost 5 6 years persistently, and they keep they are in huge demand. Though they are not trained, not certified by any regulatory authority, but they manage changing the diapers, giving the bath, mobilizing them in the home, feeding them, ensure medicines are taken. So this is if such things are done in a family by somebody else, so the other family members can concentrate on the other things that they want to do for the older person. So this is the absolute contrast of young age and older people in this care geriatric care programs.
No, I think it's a very, very, very insightful thing because yesterday only I had a very long discussion with one lady in Bangalore. She runs these two centers for people who are mentally challenged and things like that. In one in Bangalore and one in Noida. And she wanted to say that I want to do some kind of a home care also because she has been seeing it from on her own family and things like that, especially for schizophrenia and dementia and all that. So that is where I said ki volunteering may not be the best option because the sustainability of volunteering, people doing it day in day out, will not happen. But when you said that, she said I have 100 odd people who are senior citizens who want to volunteer. Probably this is something which I will speak to her, that yes, we can include a kind of a small commercial aspect to it, and with your statistics, if one need not be really really certified to do it in today's,
Yes.
looking at the Indian situation.
Yes.
Indian situation, you have to be practical. I can't implement the Australian training standards or the UK training standards. We'll never reach it.
We
At least with the
never.
12th class pass people.
I agree with you.
And the moment you get into that college level or a postgraduate level people, they will not do the job only.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's what happens. So
So,
they
so
are joining the geriatric care training, but we don't know. We are not sure. After 2 years or 3 years, they are in the same job or something else because
no, I
they
will
don't
give you
use
an
this
example.
training.
I'll give you an example. When my grandmother in Lucknow, she had to be urgently admitted. She had a hip fracture. The hospital staff used to not come and clean the stool or the urine, the bedpan. There is a separate category of people who are outsourced by them.
Yes.
At a government hospital, just imagine a nurse has an employer of her own
Uh,
to do the bedpan. She said, no, 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 I will not do that. I'm a nurse. So
yes.
India, that dignity of labor and that level of various levels in our system which we have created, I think that works as a hurdle in this particular aspect. But when you're
Exactly.
saying about senior citizens, I think it's a brilliant idea. I'll speak to her tomorrow
Yes,
and
sir.
we'll do it.
Yes,
That's
sir.
excellent.
That's what madam. This is nursing staff. They sometime now they said diaper change is not my job. You hire somebody else for that. I can ensure only I'll give injections, some medicines, and come back. But they charge heavily for that. So that is how the again, if you split the challenges in geriatric care, as madam was telling, definitely we need to empower them with palliative care knowledge and geriatric care knowledge. And now people are looking for cancer care. Now, we cannot go on dividing somebody when there is a shortage of geriatric care. Now, I cannot make some 100 people in only dementia care and you work only dementia care. How many chances they'll get? How many patients with dementia their family can afford to have him? We cannot make him a tubular vision caregiver. So whether it is dementia or a cancer stage or geriatric care, the basic care remains same. Ultimately, you have to improve his functional capacity. You have to ensure that he takes medicine, spend time with him, make him mobilize, change the diaper, catheter care. If he is rise to do rise to feeding, this is what is taught them to them, and they should do it, all these things. That is what we should. What I felt was we should not divide them in. You are a geriatric care and you are a dementia care, you are a palliative care, you are a cancer care. Then if you start doing this, each specialty will demand caregiver. Then you may not find anybody at that time. So accessibility and affordability has to be addressed. Yes, you create manpower, accessibility is there, but affordability also you have to think. Middle class person cannot afford 30,000 rupees per month to provide a care for his mother or father. He
We
says,
will not be able
I'll
to
rather
afford it
not
on a
do.
monthly basis.
So
We'll
even if
start
you
feeling the
have,
pinch.
yes, sir, even if you have manpower, the supply is there, but the situations are not there. So that challenges we have to accept in this geriatric care. So it is not a single problem. There's a multiple problems: economical issues, social issues, spiritual issues. Some older people don't like to have strangers in their home. Now, why should I stay naked in front of this guy who I don't know? He's going to bath me, and this is how that is what they tell. And I can't believe in him. Who is he? It is send him out. So this is outrightly the older people. They don't accept the strangers in their home. So that also we have to keep in mind. So just creating a manpower, yes, it is good, but again the where you should place replacement for them. That is also, and acceptability from the older people, and older women, they don't like anybody to touch. That here they don't even like to use diapers. If I tell them, oh, no, no, no diapers. But older men are fine. They accept anybody coming and caring for them. But older women say, no, no, no. Till I last die, I am going to take care of myself. But somehow when they become bedridden or they suffer from stroke and all, then they accept this help from the strangers.
That's very interesting, Dr. Ambali, especially talking from the Indian perspective about the kind of personality we have in India. And not only India, I think the whole South Asia, I think we are a little like this. So, Dr. Ambali, you have such amazing experience. You started one of the dementia care clinics, I think, in 2014, if I'm not
Yes.
wrong, right?
Yes.
So it is one of the first clinics and such kind of a project in India, to be
Yes.
very honest.
Exactly.
And knowing more about you, you started so many things like reaching the unreached rural health program, which is also endorsed by the United Nations. So, working especially in the rural healthcare sector of India, what do you think can be done better? What do you think where we are lacking? What is your suggestion about us as an individuals or organizations? What can we do to contribute?
It's a very important question. Coming first to the dementia clinic, those days still memory clinic was in hype. Before that, we already started a dementia clinic because we made a week-long screening camp for older people, and we found that it was a random people coming from nearby villages, and it was welcome. Every day we screened around 25 to 30 older people, and for it lasted for 7 continuous days, and we found that there is a higher incidence of dementia in this place, or early dementia this place. So that is what made us to start a dementia clinic in 2014, and since then it is running, and we are screening older people through dementia clinic. Reaching the unreached was a rural project when in the COVID-19 hits, and we got a call from a village that we literally we are devoid of medicines for chronic diseases, and there are no doctors, no PSCs working because all the manpower were rescheduled to other places by the government. So we stepped in 2020 October, and we started providing medicines free of cost for 1 month for every patient for he comes to our camp. And everybody above 60 years is open to attend our camp. Every month, fourth Sunday, we go there. What are the challenges? Now, in our camp, we have around 226 older people now registered till last month. And in that, majority are females. So 109 are female patients. So this, and who are they? They are all poor people. They are either staying alone, they are widow, or they are differently abled. So why we are targeting them? Because they can't come to our place. They can't even go by bus. They can't climb a bus, and nobody is with them to take them to bigger places for consultation. So we are reaching them. That's how the name came, reaching the unreached. So they are the people whom we examine and assure that blood pressure is recorded and all those things. Medicines are provided free of cost for 1 month. And the other challenge being they are single, they are staying alone, and nobody to support them in the home. And children, sometimes they send money or they don't send money from the working place. So at least we are ensuring that they are getting medicines regularly on regular basis for month wise, maybe it for hypertension or diabetes or anemia or stroke or osteoarthritis knee, whatever disease they are having, we provide medicines. The third challenge is about the diseases that we diagnose once. So we have patients with dementia, we have patients with Parkinson's there, and even a 100-year-old lady, though she is active, but she cannot move out from the home, but we go to their home for services, and those who are bedridden because of stroke. So these are the challenges where they cannot take that older person who is bedridden to the other place for consultation. So it is these are the few challenges. And once you make a diagnosis of dementia in the older persons, they have a lot of stigma associated with it, and they avoid bringing them to camps because the stigma is there. This old man is something, behaves like a mad person. So this family has someone who is mentally unstable. That stigma is there, so they don't want to bring them to the hospitals, even the clinic. So in such cases, we call the children's and ask them the history, and what we can suggest best we can do there. So there are a lot of challenges, especially the female patients staying alone, no economically very background, and widow, and this differently abled, either they are blind or they cannot hear, or so many issues they are having. So these are the patients, people in villages where we go and provide services, and that is the overcoming the challenges. Now the female patients are so happy that they are getting medicines at least for a month, and every month blood pressure and sugars are checked. So that is how a team is formed, and we go every month for Sunday there and provide health services to them.
Where do you get so much of dedication and commitment from? Seriously, it is. That's why in the beginning I said it's always such a pleasure to talk to you,
Yes.
because there is so much of positivity, and you can actually feel that yes, there are good people who are trying to do things at the grassroots level, and there is still a lot of hope which is there in the country. So just to take a little, because since our objective is also to ensure that things finally reach at the village level and at the district level. So there is something which I was just thinking right now, and typically during the interview something clicks on to me. When we talk about rural, that rural is also still getting progressive. Uh, since the belts in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and that particular area, there's a lot of tribal areas, Chhattisgarh and Odisha.
Jharkhand.
What is the understanding? Have you come across any dementia cases in these kind of people, or it is very less, or how do they take these kind of things into the stride?
Yes, sir. This is very important. Even why only rural areas, even in the city level, once you make a diagnosis of dementia in a family person, they don't come for the follow-up again and again. So they avoid follow-ups because there is a stigma that is associated. They don't want anybody in the society should come to know that so and so in this family is suffering from dementia. Even in rural areas, the incidence is very, very less. So in the rural areas where we screen, there was a program by government of Karnataka, Karnataka Brain Health Initiative. It ran for 3 years, ran by NIMHANS, that was a premier institute in India, and we were part of that program. People used to come and screen the older people in my village, and they found that out of 40 people they screened, two were having early signs of dementia. So that's how things are there, but it is less common in the rural area. And as far as tribal area is concerned, we don't, in my place, we don't have that connectivity connection to the tribal area. Most of these villages and places are well developed. So tribal area is, as you told, in Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand on those side. But in our side, in where I live, there is no tribal. Okay. People are free to open up, they come up to clinic, but once it is diagnosed and all, there's a very difficult, and only when they get difficulties, behavioral disorders in that person, they come back again to seek an solution. But by the time it is too late.
No, no, definitely will do. In fact, probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'll be launching on a WhatsApp, which we have already started the WhatsApp thing in Hindi and English. I've already got 2 apps made for dementia self-tools,
Oh,
self-assessment
that's
tools.
correct.
It is going to be in all the vernacular languages. Just
Wow,
10,
that's
12 questions to analyze whether you have dementia or you have depression or you have a frailty or a false possibility.
that's
So that 4 or 5 apps will be done in the
awesome.
next coming weeks. So we'll take your inputs on that
That's great.
before we officially put it on
Yeah,
this thing.
right, sir. Right, sir. That's great. But again, it should be should be in various other languages
No,
also,
no, it
because
will be. It will be. It
if
will
we
be in
have to
all
go down to
languages.
the village level, it
Correct.
should
It will be in
be.
all languages. So Hindi we are already done, and now we'll do all these major languages, which is there. So that is what I'm saying. All these small
In
small
fact,
things.
there are some scales also that are used for people who are illiterate. Those can be like an oral questions, it can be something, and it is used for people who are illiterate. It's not something which is for people who can read and write. So
Oh,
there are
really?
some other scales
That's a
also
good
that we
idea.
can
That
work
is
That's
so
a
we
good
should
idea,
consider.
actually. We can, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where we can take inputs from Dr. Ambali and understanding as to what are the international scales we should follow, rather than just trying to reinvent the wheel. So that's great. That's very nice.
So I think it's going very interesting. So with Dr. Ambali, I have a very question that I felt while talking to you that you have been, I mean, at somebody who has been at the top, but also at the bottom of the whole thing, at the grassroots, also working with the situations of day-to-day caregiving and everything else. Dr. Ambali, what do you think? What is something that has touched your heart? Maybe some story that really changed your perspective towards the whole thing. Would love to hear from you.
Me too.
Geriatric care is a very heart touching, and you sometimes you become emotional. And some quotes, I'll just tell you what older people say that. Dr. Saab, I'm laughing today after almost 2 or 3 months gap. When they come and meet me and they say that I'm for last 3 months I never laughed so much and I'm laughing today. I'm happy that I have met you. So that's what they tell, because we don't make that clinical scenario a very serious issue. Okay, we just make some humor and okay, make them feel that okay, you are going to be fine. Many people, older women especially, sometime after they become all right, and the next time when they come for a follow-up, they bring some chocolates or candies to me, and they say, "Keep it with you. Thanks for saving my life." Some older men, they come and say that, Dr. Saab, if I want to die, I want to die under your care only. I'm not. Let me don't advise me anything bigger things for me. Let me die under your care. Some people, they just come to meet me and they say that I feel better. uh, I feel better once I meet you and go. So that's why we have come. Otherwise my blood pressure and diabetes are all in control, and I just want to say hello to you and go. These are the few things. And older women who are victims of abuse, and when we identify it, in that, okay, I know that I understand you are having these issues and all, some domestic issues, then they suddenly open up. How did you come to know that? I never told anybody. Is it you who found out first that I am having some problem, and you rightly told that I am suffering from inside. So these are the things which has come over the experience. Of course, it's not overnight. And people have taught me. The senior citizens themselves, they are for any geriatrician. So you don't have to read any books. You just read the person, older person, that you will learn medicine, almost all the medicine of geriatric care. These things keep inspiring us, and also sometimes it hurts us somewhere. That but at the end of the day, it is happiness that we have done something good for somebody. So,
I think it's really beautiful, Dr. Ambali. These small anecdotes really shows the kind of impact you are able to make in individuals' life. Of course, the bigger impact we have been talking about, training everybody around, doctors, nurses, everything. But I think the grassroots level impact is shown by these little things that happen to us.
definitely.
So I think it's really beautiful to hear it from you, and I think I'm totally mesmerized hearing.
Even in
Oh,
the village, they say that next time you are coming, na? Means they want me to assure that next month I should come. So, things have been formed, and we are happy. Even my students who are come with me and all, they are also feeling touched, and that just makes all of us more responsible, passionate for care. So that is how we are growing.
I feel it's very interesting, Dr. Ambali, because the hard skills, for example, like teaching how to put a catheter, you can teach somebody. It's a technical skill, right? But to be empathetic, to be a human to individual who needs care, or to be able to connect at an emotional level, this cannot be taught. This is, I think, one learns by examples only. So I think
You are right.
that.
And you are right, and it comes by passion for that. You should be in that field. So the student comes to join MD in geriatrics. I ask the same things: do you have compassion? Do you have passion? Are you interested in really geriatric care, or you just come from something? And you have good communication skills. Then only join this, and have patience. So if you have patience, then only you come to the geriatric practice. Otherwise, you don't.
no, totally agree. I totally agree. I think uh, it is the body language of the doctor which gives that comfort to any person as such. But coming to this particular word, I think there should be a kind of an aptitude test for doctors also, who understand or who can relate. See, everyone is people are a lot of every doctor is very good in their subject, no doubt on that. But that soft skills of interacting with people is something which we lose touch over, probably after seeing 100 patients, 200 patients a day, because you don't
Exactly.
get that time. It is
Exactly.
not that they don't want to. It is like if I'm seeing 100, 200 people, I can't give time.
Yes. You are right.
So, and this is a subject where you can't see volumes. You have to be at least a little patient with the person to let him complete a sentence. I go to the doctor within 5 minutes flat. I'm out with the prescription.
You are right, sir. You are absolutely right. Because in geriatric practice, we don't count on volumes. Maximum geriatrician should see is around 15 to 20 patients in a day. That is the last thing we can do, because in those 20 patients, 5 will be patients is short of hearing, and trying to counsel them, trying to know the history from them, trying to understand that whether he has understood what you have said. It takes a lot of energy from our side. So, and the treatment success is there only if he has understood what I meant to say. And that old man, if he has not understood what I have told him, then treatment is a failure. So somehow I should ensure that he has understood whatever I had told, and I should convey him that I have understood whatever you have the problem, and then the treatment becomes a successful. So
And then
for
they'll come back 3 times again to check with the prescription.
exactly, exactly. And while going again, they will ask you, you return the treatment for headache, no? Means they want to ensure that I have returned the treatment for.
Correct, correct.
So that's how, and as you rightly told, sir, yes, first 15, 20 cases of geriatric care, you will be fine. The 21st, you may get angry, or you may lose that patience. So I politely tell them, so you take medicines right now, this, again come back tomorrow. So let me discuss the other things tomorrow, because I too have a limit. Since morning 8 o'clock we are doing, and I don't want to scold him and send him. I just tell him these are the medicines for your acute problem. You can come tomorrow or day after, and we can spend another 5 minutes extra with you. So that's how we have to go in geriatric care.
Brilliant. So probably one of the last questions I like to ask Dr. Ambali, from your experience, what would you suggest? I'm not saying directly suggest to the government, but since you have been involved in a lot of policy-related issues as well as the training curriculum-related issues, and in the overall geriatric and the elderly care aspect, what would you recommend the government at the central level and at the state level? Because this is how the health is a state subject. So there is always a clash of central government schemes and the state government schemes. So let's say top three things which you would like the central government to do and the state government to do.
Yes, sir. As you rightly mentioned, I've been associated with the NISD in formulating the advanced dementia course and NCVT, that for an vocational education training program. We are the member, we represent the geriatric medicine there. So the challenges are there, and what we recommended for people there and for the state government as well is yes, we have to create care providers manpower and ensure that the only the regulated authority provides a certificate. And they should be linked to the either NISD or NCVT for giving the certificates. So because these are the agencies which meticulously scrutinize the background and whether training has happened or not, and then they issue the certificate. So all the NGOs or anybody who is providing care training, they should be linked to the central government policy, and that is they should provide the certificate after verifications. So that is the one thing, first thing I should tell. And second is when we talk about age limit or education limit, so many of people are opinion that 12th pass hai, 20 years old, take him in the dementia care, and after 3 months or 6 months put him in the business. No, this is, I am against this, because 20 years is a very tender age to understand the old person. He may not have understood his own grandfather by this age, and how can he understand the old man with dementia? So again, if you send him for care for dementia with second stage or third stage, he will run away within 1 hour. So that's how the things happen. So my advice to them was let the maturity comes in that person, especially let the 12th be the cutoff line. He should be minimum 12th pass, but age should be a little more, because he will understand what older people wants, and what dementia means and how they behave, and how should I react, how should I respond. All those things we have to make. And third care is geriatric care, and in each hospital and a community based, there should be a team to reach them in the day-to-day activities or emergencies. So in each community or a service, care providers or caregivers, even maybe it's for 1 hour or it is for one day, like we call a respite care for. So these care providers can be even trained to go and spend some time with the older people who are staying alone and provide a respite care for the other family members. So fourth is ensuring the availability of medicines around the clock for all the older people, especially they are all living with chronic diseases, non-communicable diseases, to ensure that these medicines should be for them. And of course, now government of India has come with Ayushman Bharat has been extended to 70 years also. That's a very unique thing that is done, government of India has done. So that advantage the senior citizens of our place should take for the as far as healthcare is concerned. And insurance, it doesn't cover these expenses. So somewhere policymakers should step in and ensure that the care providers cost is also included in the insurance. So at least let whatever nominal it may be, whatever nominal, let it start first. So care providers salary should also be included in the insurance by the insurance company. So that can be thought of.
Yes, I think it covers up. This will give a lot of framework to the entire movement as such. And definitely, even if we can follow up on 2 or 3 of these aspects, some structured and some practical solutions would definitely
Yes.
come in. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes, Mrigna.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Dr. Ambali and Pankaj. Honestly, it has been a wonderful conversation today that we have had together. A lot of things that we've understood, and more than that, what can be done in the future, especially from the Indian perspective, we've understood a lot of things. I hope, like Pankaj said, in the future, we are able to apply some of these practical suggestions into the policy matter. Like something very practical that I found Dr. Bali said was that caregivers cost is not included anywhere. So, and defining also who actually requires a caregiver, there is no such process for it so far in India. Because somebody who may have advanced dementia may actually need caregiving. Somebody who is in palliative care will actually require a caregiver. And like Dr. Ambali said earlier in the interview, so most of the time it's the women of the house who sacrifice their jobs, their works, even in middle class families, they sacrifice their work, their life, and they dedicate to caregiving duties and tasks. But I think a lot needs to be done.
Yes.
But wonderful start to it. Thank you so much, Dr. Ambali, for coming here with
Thank
all
you.
your wisdom, all your knowledge, and your experience. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you to you also. And thanks
Thank
to
you, Dr.
Professor
Ambali. It was a
Ryan.
pleasure, and definitely we'll be in touch with you to take a lot of more learning which you have, and we'll definitely try to do some activity which can have a genuine impact at the ground level, sir.
Anytime,
Once,
sir. I'm just a call
once
away.
again, thank you for coming,
Thank you,
and
sir.
namaskaram, sir.
Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Namaskaram.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mrigna.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.